What's been holding me back? The weight of memories, the ghosts of my past. But like a tree in autumn, I'm ready to release the dead leaves of doubt, the fears that bring me to my knees. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Make room for growth and let your spirit pop. Don't let the past define the person you're meant to be. Let the leaves fall and set your soul free. I've been afraid to let go, to move on from the pain. But like a tree that's weathered storms, I'm stronger now, I'm not the same. I'm learning to embrace the change that comes with time, and find the beauty in the unknown, the unrhymed. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Make room for growth and let your spirit pop. Don't let the past define the person you're meant to be. Let the leaves fall and set your soul free. I'll let the wind blow through and carry me away from the shadows of my past to a brighter day. I'll find my roots in strength and my branches in grace, and I'll rise above to a brand new place. Be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. Make room for growth and let your spirit pop. Don't let the past define the person you're meant to be. Let the leaves fall and set your soul free. So I'll let the leaves fall and watch them drift away. I'll find my way to a brighter day. I'll be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop, and I'll rise above to a brand new top.
All right. Hopefully, audio's back. Welcome, everyone. Happy Saturday, as usual. Sorry, a little bit late. Network issues. We are here. Happy weekend. That being said, I hope you like the song. Uh, Thank you, Doc, for that. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Tom. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Doug. Who else we here? Whoever it is, welcome, everyone. As usual. Uh, Before, as tradition, I have lined up as a request several interesting topic for us. We will be going through them as an examples. The stream could be a little bit long. Uh, Once, because I was late. Two, because literally it's quite a lot to actually show and do. Hopefully, will help all of you who asked basically to kind of go through this again. And for sure, we will as time progress. Enjoy it, and anything that I miss, please check some of the other videos. I'm sure you will find in them. Uh, Thank you, Doug, for letting me know. Audio is good. And of course, we also will be No Limits Saturday room, and you can come and have a internet hangout with us over there privately, and conversation can go on for almost long as you like. Basically, room is on, and welcome. You can join us in there. Once more, as tradition of the house, for the family, thank you everyone who's decided to join No Limit Emails family. I personally appreciate you, and I also don't take your trust for granted for you making that huge decision to join us because richly is important part of your business. We understand email is the new gold and obviously new currency of the digital world, and because of that is basically our own brand owner, and we really do have a heavy responsibility to make sure the bread table is always safe and open. Basically, we will do everything in our power to protect, help, and make sure everything that we have is working for you and for us. So relax and join the rest of the gang every night. As you can see, we are live. And that being said, please provide us the crucial element. Obviously, you already know if you already qualified, you're in, and that's mean literally you gotta give us your domain. If you passing us the domain, and sometimes I see some of you actually lately, quite few of you send us your basically server login, your cPanel login. Really, that's not the way. So I want to highlight that the correct way, you just choose your domain and add a domain to the Cloudflare. And free Cloudflare account is the one that you need to use. That's all you need. So you add your domain to the Cloudflare, you only send us your Cloudflare login. And when we have that, and we know which domain you go to use, we will build a system and send it to you. Please do not send us your cPanel login or your private server login, because hosting is not done that way on your end. Hosting is done by us, maintenance done by us. Therefore, we have backend covered, and we give you the front end and you're in control of it. And of course, we will be going through this evening session, and you will see it exactly how we do some of the stuff, and hopefully make it a little bit easier. Even basically, you don't have to touch anything technical, so just building block. We build things block by block, like building house, and this is basically will be experience to build stuff. Even if you are not very technical, you will be able to achieve some of the things that literally 5-year-old can do. And I'm not really kind of making exaggeration, but really is like that when you start just like observing a little bit and then just copying it and implementing it in your end. But do not worry, we're here every day, and we will be with you from the moment you start your system to the moment you leave and go to sleep. But we will be still awake and look after it for you. And that's how systems run. And welcome to the family, guys. Please, also make sure that you do not have a barrier that you don't know anything about Cloudflare. If you don't know anything about Cloudflare, just let me know. I can jump on a live room and help you basically create account, put your domain in there, and basically set it up with you. So that is not a problem. I know some of you kind of asking me and us quite often, how do I get my API for Cloudflare? Guys, do not worry. All you have to do is you can also just really add a domain in. We can do the API part for you, which is that's how we work. And or if you already know a little bit of Cloudflare, just send us the domain name you want to use in one of the DMs or with email that you reply to us, and we will take care of it there and then. So do not worry. But if you really do not know anything about technical and Cloudflare, you also do not need anything to do technically, because literally not much to do. All you have to do is copy two pieces of code that like address bar, your DNS address. You take it from Cloudflare and you put it on your own domain registrar, the hosting provider, or just the domain registrar. Some cases you can use the domains that really you do not have hosting for. In most cases, that is even better. So if you just have the domain, you pay your registration fees for just your domain without hosting cost. And that's even much better for us, for you as well. Save the cost. You don't have to have hosting for the specific domain you got to use for your emails. So especially for the emailer. Also, just make sure that you do not use your main principal domains. You could have many different businesses, and do not use any of those business domains that they are active, they are working, and we don't want really neither damage your reputation or be a cause of problem with these domains, basically. But if you have a tech team, if you have a software, and if you are running a different kind of elements in your business, if you're in that stage, all you have to do is let us know, see what we can do without even you having to do that Cloudflare part, see what we can do with your devs and see what's possible. We can just provide you basically gate that you can integrate your emails and send you emails through your own server. All you have to do is basically still pay us very minimal, basically rent for that type of stuff. So that's also flexibility available for you guys. We didn't kind of say this kind of things before, but really now we having a good enough building good enough infrastructure to facilitate this kind of things. Now that's also possible and also helps us basically to kind of help a little bit larger and small medium businesses that they are a little bit kind of already there doing kind of a little bit maybe a few $1 million. That's the kind of area also obviously if you have a team, if you have a dev team and you need a really email solution just what we do, you can have it. So don't be shy and ask us about that. And also I congratulate all of you, well as apologize two of you because your systems are delayed, guys. There are some tests run. We kind of like look at it as not really kind of big issues, but we will get them done and we should be able to release them over the weekend to you before probably Sunday is over. And just watch the email or DM from me. And we do kind of know basically what's happening. The system is ready. You can actually log in, but really in we want to give you from day one. You send one email, day two, you send two email, and when you send your first email, that should be this complete system should basically work for you. But some cases we hold back because we go through a lot of scanning, a lot of data, and as well as literally hundreds of thousands of tests, especially the ones that keep failing and stuff. We run hundreds of thousands of tests basically, and takes a lot of time because we have to literally scan whole internet, guys, and that takes time and that takes energy, that takes space, that takes the number crunching, and literally is kind of endless type of stuff that we do in order to really everything that fits literally are green. We have a kind of system in place before system release, guys. It's basically like traffic light. You are in amber, you are in red, you are in green, and when is everything on green, you get your login. But till everything hit on green on our end, we don't release any systems because we trust what is already we tested and work, guys, and that's the reason why we delay these things. And therefore, we do apologize for that, but we want to do really the right thing from the right moment that you start, guys, and that's how we've been working last 5 years and especially last 4 years, basically setting up servers, activating them for you and for us. So let me remove this um, URL now, and I hope that you will enjoy this evening, especially if you are new, guys. I know some of you really not in the social, but I know some of you go back and kind of watch the YouTube, and also I do send those to your teams to watch. Hopefully, you guys kind of get it. And that's basically, I know that's how you get informed. Now, of course, when we also do the live meeting with you guys, privately, we also kind of share all this kind of things, but to just once more be on public, on record, doing things what we say we do on screen and sharing with you. Hopefully, you will enjoy this one. Let's get rid of some of those elements that just slowing my internet, and hopefully everything's good. So the first part of this evening session, how to import leads. I had, I think about almost everyone that starts the system asked this question, which is fair. And I wish when we started somebody told me, but uh, uh, yes, definitely is very, very important part of the functioning of the email stuff, one of the most important anyway, especially if you are specifically going to do cold email, this function definitely is the most important in any sense. Obviously, capturing is also important if you are literally utilizing the system itself, generating hundreds, even thousands of capture pages, because that's how system is being designed allow us to do it. And I also will explain just a moment on screen, and we'll go through that. And also how to create automation. Of course, any email autoresponder have to have this part. Is kind of compulsory, but the tool that we have, basically it does not just automation, it does really super targeted or point based automations based on interactions, that you can really generate very good interactive list with automation. And also publishing emails. Of course, publishing emails is, without it we can do rest of them, is not going to do anything. So publishing emails is really kind of, let's say, is almost the number one uh, elements of the creation part, so to speak, or a publishing. Obviously, you can also apply this to your publishing as well. So we will tackle that. So I hope this full topic doesn't take me hours, and I will do my best to kind of do it quick as we can. But I don't want to also skip very important part on this one, because till now I have learned quite a lot of things, and maybe previous recordings I didn't kind of share, or I didn't get that far, or I didn't know that part how it was working. So hopefully will be also some other new discoveries for you too, when we will do this thing on just a moment. That being said, welcome everyone. If it's audio good, please just let me know. If internet is not lagging, let me know, and we will continue. So, continuation. Let me just also bring my screen back. As you can see, I have been doing this a little bit earlier. Let me just refresh it. Probably it's already logged me out, done the task, but you will see. So, when you get first, this is the literally, we're going to go through this, and you guys also can use this video as a demo, as a example, as literally what you want to repurpose this video, feel free to do. So this is what you get. So on the image side, you can change, obviously, this to your logo. Only part that you can't change in the system is the basically copyright belong to us here, and that's the only part that we show. We don't actually kind of watermark your emails, anything like that. Uh, but you can also do this for yourself, actually. uh, when we get an email, I will explain something that me and Chrissy was talking yesterday, and hopefully you will enjoy that part, also implement to benefit yourself when you send in the emails, especially for you to, if you promoting no limit emails, the link on every email that you send, without really putting it that link in every email you send, but will be included in some place. Hopefully, you will enjoy that part. So let's go ahead and just log in. So you can customize everything that you see in here, guys, and to yours, your logo, your images, whatever not. So this is the dashboard we get. Obviously, logged me out, and I was kind of processing this. As you can see, obviously, network dropped, guys, and the file stopped. But luckily, we are back on, and we will do brand new one. And so you can see exactly how to import your leads first. Uh, where we start first, we're going to start basically not in contact. Once more, I did make this mistake. Please do not make this mistake. Just don't go click on a contact and import contacts in here. Once more, for YouTube's sake, or for YouTube or Google, if you see this video and I'll show people contact, this is educational purposes only. These contacts are demo contacts, and you can steal them, and it's not going to work anyway. But generally, looking at it, and I will show you. And so do not just go on contacts. That's your main archive. All the contacts you upload is going to be there. but we got to use contacts. That is one function for importing and exporting. It happens in the contact tab, not in the segment tab. You will see what I mean. Just a moment. So we will start first thing first with the segment. Segments is the list, and there where we got to basically put our leads in. So imagine when you go create segment, the system going to create folder. Anything that you're going to upload is going to be in that folder. And in our case, instead of called list, in here you call segment. So let's go and create one. For me, it's going to be 282, day 282. It's like playing bingo here. So I'm just labeling the list like this, but obviously you don't have to label your list like what I'm doing. I'm just kind of lazy because this is also just random emails that I'm sending as an experiment. Obviously, to just show about demo, right? It's literally about demonstration of the tool. There's nothing serious that I'm making in here. Like I'm not expecting anything to happen when I'm sending emails. Well, long behold, does work and something happens, and we will see that just towards the end. You will see some stats and stuff. Let's save, and I don't have. Obviously, if you want to make categories, you can. There was a function there, and we have the list. Now we're going to go contacts, and the function part I was trying to tell you is here. Don't obviously add quick. If I just give you, send you my email, say add me to the kind of like segment, this is where you can do that manually, or you just add new. If you add new, basically give you the form to fill, everything that you require to collect from basically as a contact point of view. Also, you can basically, let me just cancel this. And you can also go on the next part, the little drop down arrow, and you can see this new function drop downs, and you can export CSV, export Excel, and import, and also see your total history of how many you upload in here too. And we're just going to use import function at this point. So there's no setting to change, nothing else you have to do in the system. So you leave this as a basically limiter on maximum every 100 emails get processed at one time. So this is not your list, and obviously don't change anything in here. We have to just go ahead and choose a file. As you can see, I have quite a few lists in here. I'm just going to select one of this, hopefully, and we have upload. On the upload part, you choose your name, not us as your sport, and you choose the list you just made. A segment, it says contact segment. It just explains if you already made it, should show up in here. You can also just simply search for it, and something like that should show up, and you select. And of course, if you create a tag, you can, and you can add that tag. And in this field, one important part, I always leave this on no, because if you say yes, then if you run automation and rewrite stuff and confuse things, I just leave it on no, just by default always no, unless something specific you want to do with this list. You can say yes, but generally anything beside that on the field to match is email. Uh, I'm just going, there's two functions in here. Obviously, we're doing demo. If I do it import on a browser, it's going to take quite a longer time to process this many emails. And we will do import on a background, and I will do it quicker because that will make it basically stream a little bit quicker. But you can see some of the other videos that when I'm importing in browser, and also when we import, you will see just a moment. I can explain to you a little bit why that I'm not doing on browser import. So you can see the timestamp in here between different numbers and as well as timing. So let me just scroll down to show you example, a really best example in here as I'm doing test. As you can see in here, I have uploaded two lists in here. They kind of almost equally numbered. And as you can see, the time took between one and the other. So there's huge time saving in here. So when we do it basically in the background versus in the browser, because in the browser, when I'm doing it, I'm live, and basically the browser that is kind of doing this task doesn't get enough power to process all the data that's happening in real time. And of course, this huge time take is normally taken by the email verifier that it runs. And that's obviously how we automate email verifier to be a lot faster on one task versus the other. And obviously, also really based on your browser bleeping or not, missing data or not. So it's always a little bit safer, quicker to do it, basically import in the background. And we will just refresh this just a moment. Let it just basically, when you're doing this task, when you're clicking first, just wait for a bit. It's not almost instant gonna happen when we do literally data, especially big chunk of data import. Well as when you exporting data, when you clicked on export, it's not going to show up instantly, guys. It's going to take a while, just maybe even a moment or two, even 3 minutes. Some cases, if his data is very large, let's say you got a million or 2 million or 5 million, just give a little bit of time to compile that amount of report and basically CSV. When it does, and it will kind of basically directly let you to directly download to your browser. Also, when you're doing that, do not get on the get out of the page that you're doing report stuff. So basically, your download doesn't get downloaded. So if you shutting the page down, system maybe will log you out, and that happens because obviously if it's not active for a certain amount of time, that specific UI is automatically basically going to log you out. Basically, that's how it's set up. But it's generally just this is the part that you got to be kind of really like take advantage of it when you especially have a, let's say, low computing power, or you're doing it on mobile phone. So on a mobile phone, maybe a little bit quicker, to be honest, because they're processing a little bit faster. And also, you're not live on a mobile phone when you're doing this stuff. So it's a lot quicker. We see data on the mobile phone and my mobile phone definitely a lot faster when I'm doing that than compared to my computer. So, which is advantage to the people who really use a mobile phone to utilize it. And that's uh, pretty nice to have it basically on device on hand. So we have seen a progress going on in here. I just refreshed, guys, and that's how basically long taking for us to obviously um, upload this. Next part for this will be a we will look two elements together. Well, all three of them actually going to be almost conjunction to each other. As soon as we have this in place, it ties us to create the other elements that we can set everything up from basically, let's say, an hour work, uh, depending on a little bit on my speed here. I'm sure you guys can do this a lot quicker. So it's 84% so far. We'll see what happens. And obviously is ignoring some. And here I tested a bunch of spam email, rejected all. That's pretty cool. Obviously time sensitive things is pretty, I have a goal, but I don't know if I'll get there, but I'll try. So hopefully by New Year, I'll have 600 lists and as well as 7 million leads uploaded on the system. Uh, that's what I'm pushing for. Basically this system. Also, literally, I haven't got anything special, guys. I'm just running personally a $97 package with obviously with one IP that's just been working all the time, and I just have one backup IP for it. That's it, and it's been going on for 3.5 years, and we completed. So next part, obviously, if you want to go back and you want to download leads, guys, all you have to do is you click on this and it will open another window and you can export. Also, you can export by the segments as well. So that's no problem when you use that export function on the contact tab. Next part. So we will hit three birds with one stone. So we're going to do a page form email and campaign of automation. But this time, everything, obviously, what you see in here, you can do. So just follow along. First part, and when you're here, you got segment, which is your list, and that's the main component for your lead function. And next part, we're going to see what we have into the component. So we have asset delivery. You can deliver a PDF. You have a form creation. You have landing page creation, and you have dynamic content creation part. So the four of them together, as you can see, they work together, and they also work with other things. So this group of components, and then we have campaigns, which is, we will go to that when we get there, and we also have channel for your emails. So for this evening, I'm going to show you basically, let's just go ahead and also open a new tab on here where we are here, and we're also going to go back on this components. We're going to open basically all of them here, because we will be working one by one, and even dynamic content, I can show you how you can make them, and it's pretty simple. But before we go ahead with this, one more thing I just want to kind of show you a little bit. So on this side, you have one navigation, and also you have a internally another navigation part here. So you go to the on this gear icon. I'm gonna not reveal everything in here, guys, but this is your basically system internal kind of settings, and what you can do in here and what you can basically achieve with. So you have the themes. You can download the themes, modify them for yourself, for your company, for your needs, and use them and upload and use them. So there's quite a lot, few teams that are there, and they are all kind of open source. You can kind of check the source out, check the code, and check everything is all clean. Uh, Obviously, virus free and all that, and you can use them. So, few things that I like to highlight in here, that when you start, just kind of take a note. What you see on screen, that's what you get. So uh, when you look at all the teams, some of them just email teams, some of them have all three components, and some of them just page themes, and some of them has combination of just email form, not page. So if this is also related, basically the function of what you create. So it's very, very important. If you want to create a theme just works for the email, you can. If a theme just for the page, you can. But they have just that function. If you have the page and you try to add a form, form's not going to work on that page. Example. And if you have the page that you want to use it as a basically your, let's say, um, your placeholder for certain things, then basically it will not maybe work. So whole idea for this is get the ones that have all three components: your page, your email, your form. You can modify them any way you like, and you can re-upload them back. So when you modify them, also, as you know, if you made a mistake, you can always come back and download another one and try, right? So you're never going to run out of the original one, so to speak, long as you don't delete it from here, obviously. Just keep downloading to your own basically device, then play around with, and then basically upload, if you know what you're doing. But if you don't know what you're doing, just kind of, make a request or show us an example what you want, and I'm sure we will help you and create something like that pretty simple and easy. So do not just forget that when you're doing that, of course, you can choose a file to upload, you install, and that's basically in this element in here. And also, you can go back on the themes, obviously, anytime you want. When we do the builders, a few of them will show up in your kind of device by default. So you can choose directly from there as well. So let's go back on the next part of this, basically on the your user setting part. Just a moment, let me just go back. All right. right? So let's go and now we look at an asset. So what's this asset thing? So the asset is basically you can deliver a PDF. When somebody opt into the form, you could deliver a lessons, you could deliver a basically instructions, you could deliver uh, certain amount of basically data that you want to send a little bit bulk and a little bit longer than email, so to speak. If you want to send me an ebook or giving away ebook when you capture an email, that kind of stuff, you can do it on under the assets, and we will build one. Let's go ahead and first component, we make a simple email, and let's just make this one. We're gonna call this email st, but so I just selected a wrong thing. I want to show you that. So I did that actually purpose so you can see because we got to do the automation, but we got to select the other. So let me kind of cancel this and we're going to go create new. So we have two option opens up, and this two windows gives us a opportunity to do the automation one because we will use the basically template for automation and well as capturing. So we will use select this one because we're not sending direct email. But if we're just going to send that direct email or just broadcast to that list, we use the other one. So let's call this subject line for this email as we're just going to call Saturday, I don't know, 33. So I'm going to delete this after. Obviously, I'm showing you as a just how and where you need to put things. Let's call this one Sat 33. And category, maybe I'll just call this one 33. I don't know why I'm even using 33, but anyhow, I wish I was 33. And the rest of this email basically done part of the creation part, and here you can see I'm scrolling. You can make this email, you can publish this, you can unpublish this, and here we just leave it on publish. You can select time and date to publish this. You can also, obviously, because we got to run automation, we don't need to fill anything like this in here, but you can do if you are not running automation. Let's say you just wrote the email and it's not really right time or right day you want to send that email, and here you can set that date up basically for single email that you want to broadcast. And this is pretty good, especially if you are geolocated base emailing, choosing work days, non-work days, daytime, nighttime separation of different time zone. So this function is pretty amazing that you can do that in your time. You tune it for some other place time, depending on your list. So that function definitely very useful, and I hope that discovery, like really, that you can use that because you're doing marketing, and when you do the marketing, there's always one part of the world is sleeping and the other part is basically working. But it's very difficult to kind of just know which is exactly right time to send an email to United States and to send an email to Australia, example. So this part is actually is amazing tool that gives you that flexibility. You can basically time your email correctly and based on a different geolocation. So that function in here, this area, do not forget that, especially if you got specific list for one country and you live in another place, and basically time difference, day night difference is very important when you want to really reach kind of a little bit more people when they are awake, so you have better open rates, right, and click-through rates. That's definitely, do not forget that part and use it much as you can. So at this point we have everything in place. We're just going to hit save so we can save our work here, and we're going to just build the email. And as you can see, we had few themes in there. I'm just using the blank. And here, I know you guys also can get frustrated, especially when you get a new. I'll find out this myself. So if you just click on it and edit this part here, normally it breaks that like headline kind of format. This is just default format within the theme that is basically comes with Moetic. So we have basically this area has been built inside the other, and we're just going to take that out of it like that. And now if we do it, we edit our email, that is basically like this. So you can basically copy paste your content in here, and also you can drag and drop elements and different kind of email designs, if you will, different kind of elements you can just drag and drop and fill in, make your theme, because this is really you building the theme. You can use this all the time. You just basically copy it in. And also, this is can be one-time thing based on a one-time basically thing as well. So you can make it permanent if you want to for first make, and or you can make it really, which is like kind of um, it stays within one. And I will show you basically like the previous ones that I'm sending. And I'm also going to show you before we actually compile this that you can just do the email by importing whole website, and you can also embed your videos in here. You can also embed the live rooms in here within the email as well. So it's quite a little bit in depth, guys. There's a lot of things you can actually add in here. You can add almost everything that you're adding to the normal page, which is you can, and we will actually go ahead and also import a page before we actually hit save in this email, so you can see all the elements, all kind of like how they work. So first thing, let's say this was our email for our automation, and is our first email. Obviously we just say welcome email in here. All right, so we know which one we're working with. All right, and we're just gonna get a little bit dummy content. First of all, um, let's get just tiny bit of text. But also, many people don't know, but really, you can see, like, let's say this is my kind of email here, guys. I'm just going to paste it. I'm just going to delete this dummy text here, and we just paste our text in here. And of course, you can add the other stuff if you will, if you want in your email. So it's really know whatever you want to add. So we're going to add, let's say, image. And of course, this you have a lot of elements in here. So this image is, let's add a GIF in. And let's just break that up with a few other images here. Let's say this was my logo and show it in here. This image is quite big, as you can see, so you can shrink to the area you want. Obviously you have auto snap as well, guys. You can do that just by clicking. Sometimes one of this corner one is active, it does auto basically fit the image. But this flexibility, as you can see, I can make it how I really want. And in here, let's add a, I don't know, again, text. And we just delete this area. And then we want add, you get an idea. We want to add a dynamic content on this. So this is not dynamic content. Let's add the dynamic content. So let's say I want to add my dynamic content to show up in here or here or here, or just by itself. And the way that really I like to work with dynamic content, I like it work it by itself. I normally put it its own section, like its own first block, like the section. So normally everything's sections, and then we get a dynamic content. So within dynamic content, there's 3 functions, and it gives us different UI. So with this, you can design that email if you want. You can drop in a clickable image, which is normally on email. Not many emails actually allow you kind of make a clickable image in emails, but in this case that you can. And also you can drop a whole website in here, and that can also show up. which is that function I will show you. And let's just get to my website. So let's just open this up. And in here, and as you can see, also one advantage in here with this function that you will import everything. That's what you see. And what you see is not about copying other people or their content. You can use this layout as your own layout if you want to as a theme. Obviously, my content, my links are no good to you. So you can copy it, send me the traffic, thank you, there's no problem. But really, to use it as kind of guide, as a template, you can do. You'll have exact same thing, but change to your things. And we just have to go to view source, and we're going to just get our view source here, and let's just select all, copy all, and we go back on our email here, and you go to before I paste this in, guys, I will. You can also basically, like I said, you click on the image, you can import image. Uh, Let me kind of do that and show you. So you click on that, you get the image, then you can pop up, basically add a link to your image and all that. As you can see, this is a different UI compared to the thing. You have this link icon. So you can link the images to be clickable on your email. And but this is basically one way that I want utilize this is, as you can see, we got a source code as an HTML. It's like that. You paste is not going to show. All right. So you go undo and you go to source and you paste it this way. I know some of you, and I even made that mistake myself, but it's not that way. It's this way, and you just hit OK. And now you imported this. What really good thing about here is you can now really edit this kind of drag and drop thing, and every element in here is editable, and you can copy paste and do whatever. So you imported basically a whole page to your email, and you simply just X this, that will automatically save, and the content wise when you building shows up like this. But when you publish, this will opens up as a whole page. You will see it in a moment in a whole email when we do it. And let's go ahead and actually create another one. This time let's go make another section. So this one is below it, will be below the website, and this one we will make a clickable image in the email. And once more, if you just directly uh, dropped an image, while I'm here, I want to also explain something else. So let's say you don't have this images in your system. Obviously you want to import one, so all you have to do is basically either drop image in here when you click on it, or drop file. Basically, so you click on this and it will basically search your computer and open the other kind of window, and you can basically direct kind of bring a PNG in. But don't make too big, like, you can see some of the kind of sizes that I have in here. They're not very very huge, but just that's how simple it is. Let's say I just want to drag this image here. As you can see, it's quite big, so you don't want to really too big images, especially if you're using a, let me see if we can use something else in here. All right, something like that, but that's not too bad. So as you can see now, it's copied in. And let's say I want to make this one is clickable, and it's quite big, right? So like this, there is no way to kind of link this on this specific way when we importing, and we will just leave this like this so we can do the other one. So you can click, and let's just make another section above it, and this one we're going to use a dynamic content so we can link this image. So method here. Let's see if it actually freezed me or that image was too big. I don't know. Let me try. So that's already created it. All right. Let me just close this for a sec, guys. I'll save closed. We'll get back to it one sec. Let me just go back on it. My internet is definitely a bit slow, guys, so I'm having definitely network issues here. And we can get into this builder anytime we want. Now you can see it's compiled and actually saved that work. Auto saved it. We have the content here. We have this image is not clickable. And this image obviously didn't came through. Let's just delete that. Let's delete our section, because on the section, even on the table, you might left some trace. Normally I'll just do that and delete all and go back. And let's try again. It's not, you're not running out of dynamic content, by the way. It's just sometime UI will bug you because still building the other and also still building that huge websites in the background. It does happen. So let's go back and get that image. So import image in here is a little bit different, and all we have to do is basically browse, and we'll pop up our database, what we uploaded here. Let's say we just want to make this image clickable, and I'm going to basically add it. And you can see we have this size 5 something. So let's say I want to change the size in here. You just unlock this first, and let's say make this 600 by 400 smaller, right? And you just basically lock back and locks it in. And now we want to add a link. All you have to do is go to the link, and you add your link to basically where you want. So let's get just my site link. We go back on, you add URL. Obviously, you have a little bit more link add element and kind of personalization in here. You can see the advanced function in here. You can do different things with this. You can create the ID for this link, track it separately here, which is will automatically track the link anyway. But you can see there is different stuff that you can do. You can even do the styling and also the things with that. And of course, you can also add the image info and stuff as well for your basically image tagging. That's also you can do that. But in this stage, I'm just going to hit OK. So we done basically that. And then if you want to change position of this move around, automatically kind of adds it in the middle. But if it doesn't push one side or the other, and here you just basically hit like that and then select where you want the image go. Obviously right now it's in the center. When you done that, literally, or that's it, all you have to do is hit the X, and it compiles automatically and shows up like this. And next part I want to show you in here, and let's go ahead and also embed a video. As you can see, this email is already compiled, but we're going to I don't want to add button there, but let me undo that. So I want to go ahead and add a new section just below this welcome, and we're going to embed a YouTube video. Hopefully YouTube is still on. Uh, Obviously YouTube will give us some ads and all that, guys, but just let me see if we can skip it. I think somebody know who's made that sound. So we go to the ZTM channel. Hopefully it doesn't crash me. I'm going to go open yesterday's video. Let's go share, embed. We copy YouTube embed code, and we're going to use this text option, and we're going to basically import that video like that, and we're going to just X our emails done, and we're just going to save and close. And now we have email looks like that. So you saw the page still building, and obviously we have a code in here for the video. It's not broken, guys. Let's just go back and have a quick fix. All you have to do is get back in here, and all you have to do is just expand this, just look like a YouTube, and you can do similar thing with a live as well. So we're going to actually use this example again, and for that, this is exactly same method that you're going to build web page, the page itself. Uh, you can basically take this code now, and we will take this what we built here and create page with it, and in that page all we have to do is add a form, and that's basically should kind of bring us towards the end, hopefully not too long stream. And that's been said, let's go ahead and actually exit so it compiles and save and close. And if we go back on here and refresh, this is what our email content like. This is what they will receive. But as you can see, it's just a header button here, but it's huge scroll email. So every element we added is there. The page is imported, as you can see. And the image in here should ideally redirect us to the page. And that's what happens and works. So let's close this. And now we got to go back, basically, reopen this link here. What I want to do in here once more, I just want to basically go back in here and view source. And we're going to copy this, all of it, copy. And we're going to go back in our elements in here. And first we're going to go landing page maker. And we're just going to create one. Oh, we did make one. Okay, let's go back. The sat one we made, right? So let's go back on a page. So we made this page earlier, and currently it's look like that, right? And it's had a form. This is previous one. So this is basically what we want to do. This page already has form, and obviously we want to make new form. Let's not use this one. Let's go ahead and make a new page here. And also want to switch this one off. We call this one set33. Set 3 alias. I'm not bothered, but because it's page categories we do, let's select 33, I think. And that's basically create new. And this will be, let's say, set 33 will be our slug instead of like in category shows up in a page. That's all what that functions does, just shrinks the URL. Basically, instead of says in categorized. And that's, you can also be keyword specific for this as well, and useful, especially if you try to rank in YouTube. So this stage, we're going to just hit save here and let's leave it published. We're just going to hit save, and we go to the builder, and our builder look like this. And we're just going to go basically hit code. And obviously this is now it's going to be page. So I'm just going to delete all that. And we're going to paste our code here from the from the email. And now we have our email. And obviously in here, I want to delete a couple of things because this is going to be page, and we're going to be importing we're going to be importing a contacts in here, or like capture contacts. So we don't want unsubscribe at the bottom. And let's go back on the sections. And obviously, like I mentioned earlier, so you could put your form anywhere in the page, and it'll go ahead and adjust it and play around as you wish. So once more, we're just going to create another section. I'll give it a little bit gap in here. And this time we're going to go and embed our form in this last one in here. So let's go ahead. First, we want a obviously asset, and then vice versa. So we can direct them to the asset file. And obviously creation is pretty simple, guys. The same way that you're creating a kind of simple segment or email, you just give a name and add a file. and upload, and should kind of upload it and gives you the URL in which is you will see. So let's go ahead, just create one. As you can see, I already have one in here. We will get that kind of URL in a sec. And you just create one, you drop file in here, and then you also can get it directly from the URL if you have the file Dropbox or OneDrive or Google and other places that you have the file online. You can add it in here, and you can also make name your description, and you should be able to import. But to save you time, basically you see it how what you get in here. This is what you get. You can get it local or remote. It's really up to you. So we leave it on local, and that's that function. Publishing is area is the same. You can publish this asset and publish different times, especially say you're giving something to someone. If they don't get it X day to the X day will expire, and it gives them urgency of the sales and things like that. So that function for asset gathering or book giveaway or access to something giveaway is pretty cool function that you can use in here. And the other element, if it's important, you want to only restricted amount of people get it, just say search engine to block this asset and it will not rank anywhere. But if you don't, as part of the funnel and things like that, you want also this asset rank, you just say no. And obviously, if you want to be private, you just say yes, block in the search engines. So we'll block any search engine indexing your file or your book, your PDF, whatever it is. You can say yes. So in our case, we're going to say yes because we don't want to Google steal this from us. We're just going to basically give a name in here, and let's say just do that as, and then we're just going to drop file. And in this file, let's see if I can find any half decent PDF that I have not read yet. Sorry guys, a little bit. I don't know what this one is, but whatever it is. So we have that, and what's called email exclusive because of the there's something extra. Okay, that's our asset. We save and close, and now we have this asset URL. Literally, if I click on this, it will download it directly to my download. As you can see, it's going in here, and if I click on it, hopefully it will pop me the drop down. Yep. Let me go back. And as you can see now, we have this PDF has given us newsletter breakdown, all that kind of stuff. Now we can give it this way, right? On that automation. You can also go back and re-download it if you want, but that's how quickly this works. So let's go ahead and close this. And we have this URL. We will need it in a moment. So I'm just going to copy that, and we're just going to go back in our form because that's what we need to make. And we're just going to switch this one off. We're going to create one called SAT33, and that's the name of the form. And this time we don't want them remain in form. We want to redirect them to that URL. And obviously you can redirect this at this point anywhere, or pop up a message that they can check the email you sent to them and all that kind of stuff. You can do that. But in our case, we're just going to redirect them to that, to this asset, I think, to this asset file. And the field areas, let's make few fields. So we're going to create an email field. Is currently always comes default with submit. You call it, and you call, obviously label it as email. Contact field is email. You add, and let's add a name. And the name is a little bit trickier than the email, guys. You can see a different function you need to use is text function, and here you label it first name for yourself because system doesn't know what it is yet. So, and then you go to the contact field, you choose, then this time gives you this drop down menu. You can select the first name, and obviously attributes validation for the name you don't need, but for email, let's say you want the email validation. In this case, that's what we want to do. So all we have to do is basically click on email here with this pen, and then we're just going to directly go to the validation. We're going to switch it on. And of course, you can say in here, thank you, validating your email, and that's be it. So now you can see you have the asterisks on your email. But within this form, obviously, you can have also different actions in here. So within the action part, we will see what you can do. So you can add UTM tags, which is one of them we will do, and also uh, you send email to user. That's one of the actions that we got to take when we just directly doing simple capture and simple auto reply, and that's what will happen. And of course, when they opted in, also it will be redirected to that asset we showed them, like sending them that PDF. Obviously, some of the promotional stuff that you want to do is the good that you can do it on PDF in the PDF. So when they get the PDF, that will be your biggest promotional and basically biggest chance to sell the next thing, because that's what they're asking for. And do not forget to bombard at least like kind of couple of pages of something that promotional in that PDF, not just like PDF, so to speak. So we add user, send an email, and here that, let's say I'm just selecting one of the emails that I have in here already, and you just add, and of course you select your name, and that will be the name assigned to send this email or capture or whatever you want to do. What happens within this email capture. And obviously, let's go back on the field, and you can see in here, you can also add a capture or add a checkbox group, and you can also add one of them. And obviously, in here, you could GDPR accepted, and you add, and obviously, validation, you say required, you have to click on that, and you can also add your message. You need to accept this in order to receive our emails, and you can add that. Obviously, it's really up to you how you do this. You can say the result, show the label, or no, but really I just leave it on like that myself if I was using this, and you just add. Obviously, the properties is important. So what we want to do in here, you just add value, says yes. Obviously, you also add yes, like this. And now you will have only one option, and is yes, which is they have to tick, and it says yes. But and also, if you made a mistake, you can go back onto this and edit here. And if you want, one of them says save result no, like you can switch this off, and that yes will disappear. And when you refresh this, but right now we obviously haven't built. So when you refresh it, that will go. But in our case, we just leave that yes and yes on the properties. You can also go back in here and delete this, and you update, and you can switch them back on now and update this, and you will have you will see this error will not really work. So if you leave that empty, you will leave that area empty, it's not going to work. So make sure you always go ahead, basically add that area of the basically on the properties. You see is value required, I'll just you leave yes and yes. Obviously that's the only choice they have. They have to click that. So you leave that like that in your checkbox. Now this form is basically GDPR compliance, and they giving you permission to email them. And of course, something weird in here, and we got name in wrong place. All we have to do is now just basically drag it up. Now we have everything look good. And next part of this form creation, guys, that's you have themes, already pre-themes in here that you can select any of them you want. I'm just going to leave this blank, and it's up to you guys. You can select some of them. Obviously, you saw it me showing you on the themes part that you have access to them. When you done that, you finish the form. Now we have a chance to embed this code to our page. All we have to do is select one of this code and paste in. In my case, I'm just going to use iframe, and we go back in our page. I think this was the email. This is the code. Let's see what page. So we're going to add a form here, and with a text, you just drag it in and you paste that like so, and you're done. And of course, you can save and close now. And now we have basically this page is ready. Sometimes the form also show up a code like that, guys. So let's see, drag it if it showed up or not. Yeah, it shows up like a code like this. No worries. So all you have to do is go back onto the email, the page, sorry, and hit edit. Go to the builder, and as you can see, everything really what we built in the emailer work. Now we have the form in here. All you have to do is just kind of expand a little bit, and this form should be work. And here you will see this little bit of code that's on the build area, because do not worry, when you publish this is not going to show up. It's kind of just part of the build UI that you see in that. Do not get that confused. One more thing, as more stuff that you want the elements edit on this specific part, you can see, you can go to this pan. Now you can change different things in your colors, your layouts, your decorations, and some extra bits in here. So your decorations obviously will be your coloring and stuff if you want, as you can see, and you can do that. And let's just save and close. Now we have basically we have a page uh, ready, all the elements working. We turned the email to the page, we made a form, we made a embed in the form, as you can see our forms here. And we need a couple more things. We need a campaign, all right, and we have assets in place as well. And let's go ahead and go back on dashboard, and there we're going to just go create campaign on this one once more new. Let's call this one once more sat 33. And of course you can do anything you want in here. It's very similar what we do with email publishing, page publishing, and publishing. And in here basically we just want to leave basically publish, and that's the rest of the stuff. I'm just going to leave that no. And category, obviously just depending on what you want. For this you can select the ones that you already made, or you can create new category for this campaign or for this form. So for us, let's just make a category for this, and let's call it SAT33. And it's all matching with SAT33. You can also create a tag if you want. You can use also the tag maker here, and you just create one here. We call this one SAT 33. But the whole idea is like creating all this stuff so everything can work together. And let's go back in our campaign. Does it actually save the campaign? No. All right, we can do that. No worries. Sat 33. Pretty simple, but basically categories you can do. So I'm just going to save, and it says something in here. Do not worry, it's nothing broken. So we're going to go hit the builder, and we're going to create choose a campaign form in this instance. And we also obviously have the segment, so the list itself. So if you select the segment, you can go ahead and select the list that you created to automate. So day 282, I think. It's the one that we created, uploaded this leads. Day 200, that's the one. And we're going to just add, but that's one way. And also you can You can also now add a form. Obviously, in this case, we want form and segment. So what you want to do is you basically hit again, and this time you hit it. You can see it gives you many other segments. You can create another segment and make it empty and also add that. So it's multiple segments selected in here because one of the segments you already have, let's say, is already captured leads from the, is already kind of, you got leads in, is first one that leads you capturing. And then the other one is basically where you can separate the leads from the capture leads. So who's active, who's not, you can make two or three of them. Like you can make one more, say, is active, read, or download. You can make another one non-active, non-read, non-download. So you can, from the automation, till this point, you can separate them almost instantly when events happen. So when you send an email, if they didn't click certain amount of time, that you could say, okay, move that person from here, put the non-active, and that's what will happen when we kind of set up the automation. So the reason that you have this multiple source option to give us opportunity that we can create basically lead capturing that does several different things at one go when we capture the lead. So after certain days, if they didn't read email, we can move them around. After certain emails, they didn't interact, you can move them around. That's the flexibility in here. That's what you can do. And you just simply update. And now you have like two source. And of course, if you click on this side, you're going to get another contact source. And this time we're going to add that form. And so the whole idea is, let's say we're using this, and our form name was SAT 33, I think. Well, I don't know if we have the save the form yet. So I think we did. Campaign form. One moment. Oh yeah, it's here. Campaign contact source. Yeah, I think this is what we called it. And that's basically it. So we have the form, we have everything in here, guys, and it's ready to rock. So now there's two different things we can also do in here. So if we just want to use the form, we can use the form alone without this, and then this can happen down the road within the form after the basically form. But really, idea is that you have all the components in a place that you can have simultaneous kind of two-prong automation run on the sources, basically your lead capture source and your existing segments. So one that you can do it from here, and from here, basically, all we have to do is send an email, and that's what we got selecting here. First thing, obviously, we want verification. And also, if you do that, like just send an email, you can send that verification email with this first email. So the first function will be, obviously, when they opted in, you got to send them an email, or you got to put it in some information on the PDF that we're going to deliver, so they can come back, have to opt in somewhere, so you can send email to them. So the whole point of system to capture email is literally you have to send them back email to get to next stage. It's just like, you're just not giving them a PDF with no interaction afterwards. So let's just select an email, and obviously you can select the name of the email. I'm just going to use same email in here for time's sake, and we're just going to add. And now we have basically our form is going to send that email, and that's what it's got to do currently. But then also on here, we're going to just drag this first email on the side, and we're going to click again. And here you can also see you have three options. Yes, one says decision, one says action, one says condition. So you have a power to set condition. As you can see, shows you the funnel, shows you what target, what action to take within the email context and or automation context, and or what decision they made in order for you to move them around or put the different triggers for different places. So let's have a look this three function all together. So first, let's have a look a position decision one. as back to forth. And obviously, we could say this one, we will select the submitted form. What will happen? You could do that. You could, did they request dynamic or did they download the assets? In our case, soon as they basically opted in, we set it up directly. It's got to go to that URL. They will download the assets, and that's the kind of what's got to do. But in here, you don't have to really add any of those if you don't want to. But let's just say it's download the asset. You obviously in here you can limit the asset. Let's say our asset was, I think this one here, and obviously no name required. So when they downloaded the asset, no, we can't see. So if we just send it direct, obviously they're just going to go opted in automatically. It's got to pop up that link, and they will download this PDF. But we want that just kind of like doesn't happen that way because we set up the form. They already agreed that we agreed for to them for us to send an email to them, and also we want they verify that email. They agreed, but we also made the decision in our end. They have to actually verify. So we have to send them that verified email. And this where this comes in. Basically, you can change this email. You can just basically delete this in here if you want. You can leave it. And also there's another function. So let's just kind of delete both of them. And first thing will be is in here. If we selected, because we delivered the email to them, we want really system not run the automation yet from the segment that we're going to set up, because automation on the segment is going to be different than the automation that we try to set up with a form. And within the form, what we want to do in here, we're going to go back to the conditions. And this is very, very important. We're going to basically first apply tag. And then that tag, obviously, you could make that sat 33. Right? That's the tag. And the second part in here, we're going to, once more, we're going to go on condition, because this is the trigger points and conditions we're setting up from kind of get-go when we collect this kind of leads. And the first thing we got to do in here, field value as active notification, email, contact segment, we already have that. Okay, so on next part, I think is in the here, in the action, what we want to do in here, we want to say, I think, where is it? I don't know, contact at company, delete, modify, no. Ah, I don't know, where is it? Do not contact. Update contact. To, oh, add to do not contact. That's it. So the channel will be email, and the reason needs to verify. Simple as that, guys. But this happen immediate. You don't need put any time period on this. You just add. So we have basically tag and do not add contact. Let's just move a little bit away. We have this two available. And then one more thing, we have to add do not contact. And obviously we have to make a couple more. One more thing we got to do in here. We're going to go update contacts, and you just leave the form as it is, but certain things you got to see in here now. So you at this point, we're just going to update. We're just going to make this everything as it is, default contact update, And also we're going to come back, do not contact in a minute, because the rest of this from the form, these are the triggers that going to dictate what this form capable of, what it's got to do, and how it's got to react every time somebody kind of opting in. So you have set up some few triggers, because from the form, as you can see, is the important part is to set the whole chain of events have to happen afterwards. And when we set it up, obviously we don't have to kind of do it again. So one more thing. First, let's go back on our where we said update contacts. And when we also going to actually just leave that one there, and we're going to click on here, and we're going to set condition, I think, and then we're going to contact tag, and then we're going to tag this that as SAT33 tag. So do not contacts has this. Anyone who has the SAT33 tag is first not going to be contacted. And then we're going to create basically, I think it's open the email or reply the email at this point. You can say that's the email they opened. So I'm just going to move it this way. So, and then from this email, I'm going to set up a Zoom tree. Once more, we're going to apply that contact tag. This is the kind of loop you got to do, especially if you don't want this specific contact to keep triggering campaign over and over to receive same email. So this is important that you apply a couple tags in here. And then on the contact tags in here, we're going to say update. Let's see if we can see. We're going to go update contact. And in this point, I'm just going to give him that default. So we have these two areas of basically the form have to control this contact after we send them an email, after we send them to download that thing. And then from this control area, eventually we're going to allow basically run the automation on the segment that is contacts go into. But we want to function in the forms that the way set up, it gives a queuing and functioning ability to also your segment. So this side of it now, as you can see, you can go on this for almost infinitely, literally set up different complicated trigger stuff that you can detect from the form. Anything you made a mistake, you can always go back and delete and redo and test if it didn't work and delete and basically retune and do simple things first that it will work. So this is a little bit more in depth. So I want to give you more discovery. Also, there is more flexibility, as you can see, when you're setting up automation, especially controlling the functions, many different elements that can happen within the form itself. Is basically forms creating all the signals, and the signals can drip into the rest of the auto follow-up and automation that we can run on this campaign, and as well as the people that you select. So next part, let's kind of go back on top here, and we go back. This is still on the form. All this action happens in here will apply to the form, not to the segment. Don't forget that, guys. Is not going to trigger the segment ones because we're getting at this from here. And of course, eventually they join and they work together. Obviously, the whole idea is forms got to collect lead, leads got to go to segment, and then segments got to be splitted by the different things that you have better control. And according to that, that you can run different automation. But all triggers that we're making with a form to make it really easier for us to identify the basically what happens when they receive that document we send them. So the whole idea is we got to let them to verify the email. When they verify the email, we trigger that email, next email, and after basically the next email, we will know exactly what happens if they are hot, if they are cold, if they are not just responded yet, and thus you can control all that with part of the segment automation. So let's make simple segment one, and so you guys can see you get exactly same function what you get here, exact same build method, and it's exactly same filters in a way that you can apply to. And of course, the the emailer is not going to send the rest of the automation with a form. The way the Moetic works, the way nolimit emails work, is it sends emails through the segments. Please do not forget that. The first one, send, it goes, is auto send, which is you already made the email is exist in your system. It picks that up. That's just kind of default function. That happens, that you have that. But the rest of these triggers, they don't exist. But we giving the signals to this form is already, hey, this kind of thing's going to happen, and we're setting them up. But not going to send the emails that we're going to set up. Emails obviously still have to be in the segment, because not going hold is not like for the form is not holding the email that you capture. I know some of you kind of like says to me like, why doesn't really create a segment automatically when you do it? No, it really doesn't work that way. It is capture it, then you have to create segment yourself, as have to push in it, because nothing exists. Therefore you have to make them in the beginning, but after you made them, literally you don't need to keep making them. So let's go ahead and run a simple automation on this. And once more, and here first thing will be literally we got to basically if they are in the segment, obviously first thing that you can do, you can remove do not contacts. So when they dropped it in the segment, and you can remove them do not contact, and then as you can see it's pushed that side, and then from this point you get back in. I think this one going to be also a update contact just straight after. So obviously you got to remove it, and then you got from one batch and is updated contact. In this case now you can also select once more. You can modify the tag if you want, because obviously now it's verified that you can modify the tag. So you can create a new tag. Obviously I don't have one, but you could see I'll just give them this one, and after this point this tag will apply to them. And obviously you can remove that SAT33 tag, and now at this point everybody in who's come here in the segment, they are being removed from do not contact, because it's now they verified, and we update the contacts. Now we have set them up, and then now we can set up a basically email, and this will be basically our second email going to this user. And that's just kind of to just remember that. Let's say this is the second email, and the second email obviously in here you have plenty time. Now you can change this to alternative time, which day they can receive what time, or is up to you. And you can just go relative time, and you can choose 15 days or 1 or 15 minutes, just up to you. So you can see you have that flexibility. And for me, I normally just do it like 1 day after. And obviously if it's emergent, and I just say 1 day after, I just leave everything on just as it is. You can set Monday and maybe I don't know, Saturday, Friday. It's up to you. You can have all weekdays, and obviously if you want to Sunday too, you can check it, and you can check basically everything. So any days that can go out, and you can select your email, this be email too. And of course, if you didn't have the email, and you can basically now write one in there as well. So after this email now is going to be interesting, because what you want to do, you want to basically apply again that. So some of the really important parts going to come after the second or third or even fourth email, some case even fifth email. Just depends on how many emails you lined up as a value email, and then and after certain point of the emails that you can change what you can change after so many basically emails sent to this person. So whole idea now will be is, again, you get in here and you add a, obviously one thing you can do in here, you can modify contact segment and push them to new one, and from new one that you can start a brand new automation for this specific, let's say, group of people. So create a modify contact or modify the tag. As you can see, the both function in here is really up to you. Also, you can push to the dynamic content, is up to you. You can obviously send a webhook at the stage if you want to, send an email, send email to a marketing message if you want to, and obviously most important part will be you can update this contact now as the second, and you update because you sent second one, and this is kind of good practice to do, guys, and you update that, obviously send. And second part, you just want to go back in, and this time you want to change a segment, and you want to move this guy, obviously you want to move this guy when they open and interacted with you. You don't want to send the second email to them in the automation all the time. So the whole idea is in here. When we send the second email, if they opened it, we will move them to different segment, and this is where you can select and modify the segment. So imagine that you have create the segment one, they're read, segment two, they're not read, segment three, too long, they're not read, and so on and so forth. And segment five, they are very hot, and all that kind of segmentation that you can apply by applying this basically modify contact segment in your automation. And let's just do that. And I'm going to just add this one segment here that I got, and then we're going to remove them from ST33, I think it was something like that. I can't remember what we call this one, or was a long one, but anyhow, like that you can add and remove. And when you obviously you are now in a new segment, and now this contact here is already, let's say, is hot contact, and you want to send basically another email, and obviously in this case you have to still kind of, let's say, it's not instant, so it's going to be relevant time, and this time, let's say, is going to be 4 days after. And of course you can also make this 15 minutes later if it's a course they signed up, that you could make this by minute instead of days. If it's something that you want a gap between you're emailing them, you don't want them in subscribe, not too many emails, that this is where you can do that. And honestly, just create one if you don't have an email here. So this will be our third email essentially, and that we will send. And of course, every email you send, you want to go back, literally update the system, give them the tag that you want to give them, put them the segment that you want them to go, relevant places that you want to put and direct them in. So that being said, guys, this is obviously can go on forever, guy, with automation, and we could stay here for days and nights. We will never get the end of the automation. But at this point, I hope you've seen enough to get just the least glimpse of functionality and ability and flexibility that really both elements gives us to run this kind of automation, and also instant publishing. And that's it, guys. And I hope you enjoyed. And I don't want to hold you too long. I think we've been almost an hour and a half or more. So that's it, guys. And take care and happy sending. And I will be sending email to that segment I uploaded. And we will do that just before we end, guys. And as you can see, we will not really end it in here yet. Just one moment, guys. We'll save and close. Obviously, automation can go on forever, guys, but I don't want to shortchange you on this long stream that you haven't seen some of the stuff. Maybe you see now. And basically, we save and we close the builder, and we have our automation done, we have our page done, we have our form done. And let's go back on our page here, I think. Let's just refresh this. And of course, you can put in a name in, and we can put my email in. And then I've got to click yes. And form works, guys, and it's downloaded to me in here. As you can see, downloads going from that PDF and it's downloaded. So whole thing is complete, and one thing left, guys. Let's go make. And obviously, we're not going to send this email as an email, guys. Let's go back and send that quick email to that segment we make, and that's we're going to make very, very quick email here, guys. Let's go back on channel. We go back on email, and obviously I want to delete this, switch this off, guys. This one we just made, but we're going to go just clone my yesterday's email, and let's clone this one. And it's going to be segment, obviously, for us, and they going to be day 282. I'm just going to change this name here, but we will be using that segment I just uploaded, guys, earlier. Day 282. That's the one. We're going to publish. We're going to just change something in here. Ready for elite business opportunity. It's a little bit kind of spammy, spammy looking email subject line, but anyhow. But let's save and close. And we have the email done. And we hit send. And we hit send again. And send again. And now we're sending that email. And that's conclude for this evening. And this will take quite a bit, guys, 10-15 minutes when we are browser-based processing. But in here you can see is processing 100 email at the time. And we already done 1K. And obviously take a few minutes, 30K, 40K, 10-15 minutes. But that will push us way kind of too far, 2 hour long stream. And I hope all of you enjoyed that. And I hope you enjoyed my quirky little song. And I hope this will help you guys. And I hope I have covered all 4 sections of what we said we will show up. And hopefully you guys seen something new. But one more thing, guys, before kind of I get close, we will jump into the basically Saturday's evening room in here just a second. And anyone in the world watching us, welcome to join us and have a conversation. And each day of the week, we have a room for it, and you can join. And it's not very complicated. All you have to do is meet nolimitemails.com/nolimit, whatever day is with an S in the end, because we like our S's. Thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate you. And have a great weekend, and happy sanding, everyone. Till tomorrow. See you, same time, same place.